Alrighty, guys, it's time to play a little Agents of Smersh, a cooperative storytelling adventure board game set in the Cold War era, as you can see there. Basically, it's James Bond with a different kind of look to it, I guess. So if you're into spies and doing all these cool things, like a James Bond movie type thing, this is a great game. I believe this is the first edition. There's also a second edition that updates everything. I was told the first edition is more of a story game, while the second edition is more of a tactical game. So I went with the first edition, but I have not got the second edition, so I don't know if the second edition would be better or not. Anyways, I thought I would mention that. Cooperative storytelling adventure board game. All right. Let's look at the scene. There we are. All right. I think I'm going to turn down the brightness a little bit. I did turn on the lights after I adjusted the brightness, so I think we'll turn down the brightness a little bit. Alright, so this is basically the world map. We have two characters we're going to play as solo. We're going to be playing with Vinny Carter, who starts with 2 spycraft, 0 persuasion, 0 deception, 2 athletics, and 1 in hand-to-hand combat. He also starts with 4 advanced skills. I took stealth, gambling/luck, piloting/driving, and adventure. And he starts in Patagonia down here. And he has 3 missions as opposed to 2 missions. And if he completes his 3rd mission after the other 2, then he gets a special reward. So fortunately for him, and this is all randomly done, I drew Salvador and Lima, which are very close to where he's at. And then his 3rd mission is New York. So he's got to make it up to New York to complete his 3rd mission. That is our first spy. Our second spy is Seena Mars. She starts with 2 spycraft, 2 persuasion, 1 deception, 1 athletics, and 1 hand-to-hand. She also starts with electronics, and weapon use is her advanced skills. And both of us start with 2 UN transport. Her 2 missions are for Berlin and Japan, so she's going to actually start here. And you'll see why in a minute, because she can actually get to Japan through that. She starts in any ocean space. So because she's got to go to Japan, she's going to start here and use this little thing there. Basically, these are henchmen. There's 4 henchmen for Dr. Lobo here. And now the game is all about getting these intel markers, and then depending on how far up the track Dr. Lobo goes, you have to have these markers to win. So if, let's say, he makes it up to 5, we need 2 blue, a yellow, and a red to win. If we don't, we lose. And if he ever gets to number 9, we automatically lose. He will move up the more missions we fail. He will draw a card for that. But you can see what we're going to be doing is not using this board because it takes up like more than almost half the space for this one board. No, not going to do it. So this is Dr. Lobo right here. We don't know where he is. He's in the world somewhere. And he's at level 0. When he goes up, we'll just increase that die. His little henchmen here will come out during missions and stuff, and they start at level 1. One of these start at level 2 when you're playing 2 players. So we're going to roll a die, 1 to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that will be our level 2, and it's going to be Fedor Maximov. It's going to be on level 2. All right. There is a bunch of intel markers that we're going to be using to gather intel. And again, when we gather intel, we can have 100 in here at the end of the game. It's a matter of what kind of intel you get. So you want to get the right intel that's going to match what Dr. Lobo's final requirements are going to be based upon how high he gets. The higher he gets, the more intel you're going to need and the more things you're going to need and the harder things you're going to get. So I'm going to shuffle this up, as you can see. And now we're going to put out 2 pieces. We use these fate cards. We're going to be using the fate cards. Cooperative Adventure board game. These fate cards are pretty neat. We could just start with 2 intel on the map somewhere. Alright, that should be well shuffled. So our first piece is going to be in Beijing. Wow, that's amazing. Which is going to be right there. Our second piece is going to be in Seattle. So if we go to these locations, we can try to find out some intel. Okay. There's a bunch of villain cards. We will shuffle up a few of these decks to show you guys that everything has been well shuffled and yeah, this is one of these really cool games. I don't get it out and play it very often, but the more I play this game, the more I go, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. One of the reasons this game is so cool is the Book of Encounters, which is massive. I think there's somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,600 encounters that you can have when you use the Book of Encounters. So each of these are different story events that are going to happen, and they're all randomly decided. You will see as we play. Like, this is not one of these games that you get to decide like what's going to happen. You have to go along with the story and hopefully are able to encounter things with it. And the edition that I bought actually has a sign by Jason Maxwell, which is one of the authors of the book. So that was cool. Okay, so without further ado, let's see, we need to set up level 2. We got 2 intel out on the board. We got our characters out there. I think. So what is the goal of the mission? The goal of the mission is to defeat his henchmen 4 times. We have to defeat him 4 times. You can see here. If you're playing with 1 player, you have to defeat him 3 times. 2 players, you have to defeat him 4 times. 3 or higher players, you have to defeat him 5 times. And once you defeat his henchmen 4 times, you find out where Dr. Lobo is. You go and try to capture him, and then you have to see how much intel you have versus what Dr. Lobo is requiring. And again, the blue are the most common ones you'll find. The yellow are the next most common. The red is the 3rd most common. And then if you get down here, like these are super rare. There's only like a couple of them in the deck. So you don't know what you're getting. So you want to get all the intel and try to put it over here. at the end and then just hope you have enough of what you need. It can be kind of anticlimactic, but with that said, there is a special book that you can order that does not come with the game that basically changes the end game into a scenario that you have to fight Dr. Lobo with and use your intel. It's a special book you have to purchase, and it has a whole bunch of different outcomes and events and stuff like that. I am considering getting that book. It is kind of expensive and rare to find. I don't know if it comes with the second edition or not. All I can do is tell you what I have. So, we will start. We'll start with Vinny Carter. Well, before we start, I should mention I do have the expansion Swagman's Hope, which adds Australia and over 350 new encounters. It's a separate board. It adds a bunch of new things into the game. What I'm doing is, we're not going to be using this part of it, but we'll use all the extra pieces and parts. You actually see one of our characters is actually one of the expansion characters. So everything's been added into the game other than the main map because I don't have room for that. I don't know where they expect you to, find that. So, yeah, it's pretty neat for sure, but I just don't have as much space for this. So we're not using the Australia map. Where am I going to put it? I got 2 agents here. I got the main map here. I got our enemies here. I don't even have Dr. Lobo on the map. I got all of our different decks and everything. So it is kind of a space hog, which is fine. All right. So there is going to be encounter cards and other encounter cards. There's 2 different ways you can play it, with the encounter book, or you can play it with the encounter cards, or you can play it with a combination. We're going to play with the combination today. So we'll shuffle these up. And obviously, depending on where you're at, there's Africa, there is Asia, there is Europe, North America, South America, and Ocean are the 6 different locations. North America. So what you want to do is you want to, as you're trying to find Dr. Lobo, you want to complete your missions. You want to get more powerful, so when you meet Dr. Lobo, you have a good chance of defeating him. And the way to do that is obviously get your stats and ratings up and get a whole bunch of new kind of advanced skills that'll help you complete your missions. Alright, and that should be a good shuffle on all the decks. Okay, so let's talk about the different phases. You got the movement phase. When you do the movement phase, you can either rest or you can move. And then there's information on that. Then you have an encounter in the location you end up in. And then you resolve that encounter. And then you have the villain phase where you draw a villain card. You check for intel overflow. There can only ever be, because we're playing solo, there can only ever be 6 intel markers on the board. If there's 6 intel markers, then they all get removed from the board, and Dr. Lobo goes up a rank, I think is what happens. We're going to have to actually look that up when it happens. So you want to make sure you keep on the intel and keep completing those missions. Okay, so without further ado, we will start. All right, we'll start with Vinny Carter here. So Vinny down here in Patagonia. He's going to move 2 spaces. He's going to move 1, 2. He's going to try and get to Salvador. I want to call it El Salvador, but it's not El Salvador. It's just Salvador. So he's going to have an encounter in South America. And we'll show you how this works. And again, I'm just going to shuffle up these decks the first time I use them, just to make sure they're well shuffled and everything's well separated. All right. So we have an encounter in South America. And again, these cubes on this card, this is not a dual layered board or anything. So like accidentally nudging it with my elbow is a possibility. So I'm going to try and remember where everything is. Unfortunately, that's just the way it's going to go. So South American encounter. We actually have an encounter card. So these are all encounter cards. There's a big text and it gives you the information. You don't need to look in the book or anything like that. So there is no intel there. We're not going after any intel. The intel spaces are always harder. So this is no intel. Last night you slept in a cot in the middle of the jungle after a long road trip. You're drenched in sweat and coughing when you awake. A man sits near your bed with his fist resting gently on your nose. Wake up, you scum. I have a remedy for what ails you. You spring out of bed pulling your Walter PPK. Contact a battle with Mr. Big. Right off the bat, we are going to be fighting one of the henchmen, which is Mr. Big. Holy cow. And again, that gives you all the information that I just read you, but and you can see with the intel, if you're going after intel, there's tests and things you're going to have to do. But we're going to conduct a battle with Mr. Big, who happens to be in our area. Wow. Okay. So Mr. Big, let's look at Mr. Big and his card, shall we? So there's some history about him. Then there's a level 1, a level 2, and a level 3. So he is a level 1. Right now he's at level 1. Mr. Big got his start working for small city mafia groups. He soon established a reputation for himself and moved up the criminal network until Smersh requested his services. He has a big appetite for face smashing and does not like small talk. Often seen in a suit and tie with large jewel-encrusted diamond and gem rings on all 10 fingers. Mr. Big loves a good brawl. So his level 1 is test hand-to-hand to avoid getting put down by Mr. Big. So we need to fight him with hand-to-hand combat. Our hand-to-hand combat is 1. You can barely see it, but if I tip the camera just slightly more down, you might be able to see his hand-to-hand is 1. So he has 1. So in this game, it has this weird kind of interesting mechanism where you have a bunch of dice in the bag. Each one of these dice, there's 5 of them, have a different outcome on each of the different dice. Successes are the guns. So that is a success. You can also get injury, take damage, or you can also fail, which are going to be just these little Smersh icons. So each one of these has got a different outcome. Well, you're not going to be sure which one you're drawing out of the bag because you're going to be shaking them up and putting them in the bag, and then you're going to grab one of them. We got the green one, which is actually the best one. I think this is a 50-50. Might not even be the best one. I'm not even 100% sure. There's 3 guns and there's 3 injuries. You get to draw whatever your skill total is. In this case, it's 1. If we would have 3, we would be able to draw 3 or whatever. Okay. And you always get to roll this brown dice. This basically has 1 chance at a success. There's 1 gun on this one. There's also a heal on this one, and there's also a damage on this injury. So you always get to roll this on every test, and then if you got good enough skills, you'll be drawing extra dice to roll. So we need 1 success in hand-to-hand combat to fight off Mr. Big here. If we do, good things will happen. If we don't, bad things are going to happen. Come on, we need a skill check. We need a skill check. We need a skill check. We got it. And we would have healed, but we didn't have any damage, but we got success. So on a success, you can see on a success, we get to level up any of our skills. So if we go after Mr. Big, we're going to need that again. He's also, like, when he goes to level 2, we have to test athletics. If he goes to level 3, it'll be another hand-to-hand. Oh, by the way, we were also, each of us was given a top secret mission reward, and each of those, so he's got diversion. Reroll any number of dice after you fail a test. You must keep your second roll and then discard. So it basically allows him to reroll all of his dice. Let's take up persuasion up to 1. Now, the last thing I need to check is when we fight one of these guys, I think we get to go up on this. I was just looking to see if it said anything there in the back. So solving tests. I'm just looking to see if yeah, it's successful against the henchmen. So if players stop in a city ocean, It says that if we were to stop in a green location and have a fight with one of the four, then we would move up the track. But it doesn't say if you just have a random encounter with them that they move up. All right. If players stop on a city or ocean space with the green location token, players will not read a regular encounter in this case. Flip the token to see which henchman the player is to encounter. Take that henchman's card from the next of the board and conduct the test on the card according to the henchman level. If successful against the henchman level, then advance one spot on the location track. The henchman then levels up one level. If the henchman is defeated at level 3, that player flips his card and removes the henchman token from the game. Skip to step 1.3 villain phase. Note, henchmen do not level up the player if the player fails their test. If the player stops in a city player with a yellow intel or no token, if the yellow intel is on a city space or ocean space before drawing an encounter, the player must choose what to do with the intel. Right, that's just about the intel. So, technically, we fought Mr. Big, right? We fought him, but technically, I guess, when we take our dice, put it back in the bag. Technically, that was a random encounter from a card. Conduct a battle with Mr. Big. Oh, and what I think I'm going to do, because he's going to level up to test athletics. Persuasion are good for these two, and athletics are good for these two. So that's interesting. Yeah, this card doesn't say. Last night you slept in a cot in the middle of the jungle after a long road trip. You're drenched in sweat and coffee when you awake. A man sits near your bed with his fists resting gently on your nose. Wake up, you scum. I have a remedy for what ails you. You spring on bed, pulling out your Walter PPK. Conduct a battle with Mr. Big. You know what? I'm going to say that counts, so we're going to level him up. I don't know. We're going to find out if that's the right decision. All right, at the end of our turn, at the end of each of the players' turn, I'm going to shuffle these up again just to make sure it's well shuffled. We're going to draw one of these, and we're going to look at, there's two sides of it. This is if you fail the test, and this is if you succeeded in the test. End of turn event. Meeting of 27 nation leaders gather in New York to discuss Smersh threat. So we would remove any intel that's in Asia, which is going to actually be this one. That's a bummer. And we would add intel to Mexico City. We'll add one right there. And then there's an airport that closes, and that is Warsaw. So you can no longer use the Warsaw airport to get over there. If we had failed our test, Dr. Lobo would move up a number of steps on his track based on this number here. And it would give you some kind of bad results. So this one wasn't too bad. We removed intel, though. That's kind of stinks. We added and we lost an airport. And that's it. And that is player one's turn is done. We go to Seena Mars. So Sheena's kind of in a dilemma here. We've got... She needs to go to Japan to complete her mission, which would be really good. But she's right here next to 2 intels as well. Of course, I've already knocked the little cubes. Okay. She's going to go to Japan. So she's going to use the little train to go to Beijing, which she might have stopped there to get that intel, but the intel lead went dead. And then she's going to go second space to go to Japan. And she has this mission here. Japan's secret mission. Move into Japan from either Beijing, the Pacific Ocean, or Manchuria. You must impress a Japanese businessman. This will be your only encounter for this turn. We're going to test persuasion +2. Our persuasion is already a 2, so that's +4. So we're going to get 4 dice out of the bag. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we got all the good ones, I think. So we're going to roll. We need a success. We're going to need a success. Come on, give us something good. All right, we got 2 guns, 3 fails, so that's fine. We only needed 1 success. We have succeeded. She's very persuasive. And her mission results says pass up any skill by 2. So she gets to up any skill by 2. So she's going to up athletics by 2. And she's going to go up to 3. By the way, her physical training is her top secret mission. On your turn, discard to pass a failed test in athletics or hand-to-hand. So she can automatically succeed with that. Now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, when you complete these secret missions, I think you get a I would say that this is one of the worst rule booklets I've ever seen in my entire lifetime. To be honest, I've read this like 2 or 3 times and I still don't know half the questions I have. Once you complete both of your missions, secret missions, you receive a reward. Does not matter the order except for him. At the end of the same turn you complete a mission, you receive one of the following of your choice. A top secret draw. That's fine. All right. Okay. So, that was her turn, right? She leveled up athletics, 2 points. She got her mission. She got that done. Now she goes to Berlin. She would get this done. Okay. And we have to draw a villain card. End of turn event. 3 passenger planes disappear over Atlantic. Add intel to Athens. And airport is the close current city. All right, so cannot use this airport in Japan, so there is no airport there, but that's all right, I guess. I don't know. All right, back over to Vinny Carter. Let's see what Vinny can do now. Vinny. So he's going to go 1, 2, and have a encounter in Salvador. A disgruntled member of the family seeks you out for assistance. In exchange, he hands over information about Pierre's network. Pierre is one of the henchmen. Add a location token. So each one of these represents one of the 4... So here's Mr. Big, here's Fedor Maximov, here's Pierre, and here's Miss Darling. So we will shuffle these up. I'll put that out on the map. All right. Take this one, and we need a location, which is in Africa, Luanda. Right? Oh, that's actually not too far away from where he's at. One of the henchmen are going to be there. All right, so that is the end of. No, that's Vinny. That's Vinny's turn. And then we draw a new one of these. End of turn event. Bomb detonates inside the White House, killing the First Lady. Uh-oh. Remove intel from North America. That's not good. All our intel from North America disappeared. And add intel to Ceylon. Ceylon, which is over here. No airports are closing. That's good. And, of course, he hasn't gone up any on the track because we haven't failed anything yet. All right. All right, back over to Sheena Mars. Sheena's in Japan. And She's going to go 1, 2, and she's going to go to Ceylon. We heard rumors that something is going on in Ceylon. So, this is an Asia encounter. Again, each one of these decks I'm just going to shuffle really quickly when I go to use it to make sure they're well shuffled. Now this one, there is intel, so it's going to be harder. Asia encounter. Now this one is the default. If you want to use the book, we're going to show you how to do this. We're going to use the book this time. And it's a con job. So we look at Group B. So Group B says we can either impress, on your guard, rely on instinct, persuade, admire, detain, or intimidate. So those are our things. And we have to choose one of those for a con job. So persuasion, she's a 2. Athletics, she's a 3. So you don't know exactly what it means. But impress, on your guard, rely on instincts, persuade, admire, detain, or we're going to try to persuade. She's pretty persuasive. So we're going to try number 4. So we're looking at 43.4 because we're going to do persuade. And then we draw another feint card. And with intel is number 5. So we're looking at 43.4.5. 43.4.5. So we're going to go into our book and look at 43 what were we persuading? Dot 4. So 43.4. And then our random number is 5. So 43.4.5. Here we are. 43.4.5. Agent XXY has been taken by Smersh, says the director. He was investigating a counterfeit ring, but the entire thing was a setup. Sounds like the day of celebration then, you reply. You really didn't care for Agent XXY. He was all brawn and no brains and lots of trouble. But the director seems to like him. I need you to go after him before he is moved. We will parachute you into the jungle. Is there nothing I can do to persuade you to leave him there? Move to Indonesia. So she moves to Indonesia. Move to Indonesia. Which is down here. Move to Indonesia. Then test athletics -1. Or we can pass with adventurer or electronics. We have got electronics. So we can auto pass this. We don't even need to roll. We already have electronics. So we can test athletics -1. Or pass with adventurer or electronics. Pass. It takes you less than an hour to bypass security and break into the prison where Agent XXY is kept in solitary confinement. Well, this is embarrassing, he grunts when you open the door, and he sees who rescued him. Why did they send you? Explorer. So, we get... I believe that is going to be a trait then, Explorer. Let's see. We get the Explorer trait. Or is that a... It actually might be a... Oh, nope, there it is, Explorer. All it said was Explorer. It didn't say get the Explorer or anything like that. Whether it's the mountains or the wilds of Africa, you feel at home in exotic lands. Gain +2 to tests made in regional locations. Locations connected by dotted lines, such as the Alps, the Congo Basin, or Patagonia. Locations connected by dotted lines. Okay. I don't see that one, but okay. So now... one of those. Asia. South America. Just trying to keep all my cards well sorted, so I'm not scrambling at the end to try and sort everything out. Alright, we're going to put the used ones on the bottom. Okay. And this is the Explorer trait. Discard to reroll a single die on any test you fail. So she can always use it to reroll a die, but she also gets +2 on tests made in regional locations. So that would be like Indonesia or Congo Basin or Middle East, Himalayas. It's locations that I don't think have a circle on them, even though it says locations connected by dotted lines. On our map, there's no dotted lines anywhere. So this obviously is a lie. But success, who did that? That was her, right? Yes, that was her. And it was an Intel one, so we get to take the Intel without looking at it, put it in the Intel pool at the end of the game. We have at least one thing in there now. One, and so, did we get the intel from that location? I'm assuming so, but again, it doesn't say to get the intel from that location, but that's what we went there for. So... yeah, alright, well, again, the rule booklet is, well, it's a piece of work, alright. Okay, so that was her encounter, so now we have to end of turn event. UN building in Paris attacked by long-range missiles. Remove intel from Europe, so that's this one, gone away. And add intel to New Orleans. Right there. No airports are closing. That's interesting. Okay. Back over to Vinny Carter. So Vinny is simply going to go 1, 2, and go to Lima. He has another secret mission there. You take time out to attend a secret UN training camp. At the end of your turn, you reveal this card At the end of your turn, you reveal this card. Either up any skill, gain a blue UN transport token, or gain a top secret card. Up a skill. I think that's actually at the end of this turn, so I think he still has an encounter in South America. There's no intel there. A black van is attempting to run you off the road, driving erratically. Suddenly, the van jets in front of your Aston Martin and the rear door opens. A grinning fat man holds an automatic weapon and sprays your cars with bullets. Test spycraft +1 or athletics +2, and you need 2 successes. Or you can pass with driving. Guess what he has? He has piloting and driving. So he automatically passes. Nice. You ram the van off the cliff and jump out of your car before it goes over. 1 resolve. So there is another resource that you can use called Resolve to add dice to test. You gain a resolve, although his is at maximum. That's unfortunate. Then, that is South America. At the end of your turn, reveal this card. Either up any skill, gain a UN transport token, or get a top secret card. He's going to up his hand-to-hand combat to 2. Okay, he's completed both of his secret missions, so when he completes both of his secret missions, let's read this again, shall we? This is rule booklet, and these rules are to be deciphered. Now you do complete it does say once you've completed your turn, you turn over your card to show that you completed that city. It does not matter if the encounter moved you to another location or not. You still completed that location. Once you've completed both your city encounters, you will receive a reward. Note, it does not matter the order in which you visit the cities, nor does it matter if you failed your encounters at these locations. Once complete, draw 2 more fate cards for another secret mission. At the end of your turn, if you complete a mission, you receive one of the following of your choice. Top secret card drawn from the top of the deck. 1 resolve, a U.S. transport, or up a skill. I think he's going to up deception by a point. And that's Vinny's turn. We're off to a pretty good start. And I had to say it, didn't I? I did, didn't I? Yeah. Villain now gets to do things, right? Yes. End of turn. AP Press front page article reads, "Are these the end of dimes? Remove intel in North America." Oh, geez. Well, put it out there and then remove it. And then add intel to Machui. Machui? Machui. Where in the hell is Machui? Never even heard of it. Where is it? Oh, Machui. Okay, well, that's pretty close to where she needs to go. Airport closes. Current city. He is here in Lima. So I think because... So let's look at the rules again. If we're in a spot and it tells us to... Oh my god. Additional rules. Oh, brother. Like, you would think that this is an important part of the game, that you would actually have information about that. This rulebook, I swear, has got to be the most challenging rulebook that I've ever had to deal with. Like, we're looking to see, like, if the thing says to close the airport current location, well, what if there's no airport there? No idea. Nowhere in this rulebook what does it say. I'm assuming, unless it's got a airport icon on it, it can't close. I don't know. If anyone knows out there, let me know. All right, so that's it. We go to Seena. Seena. Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense that she gets this intel. She's just getting this intel left and right for us. All right, more intel over here would be good. Asia, which we've already shuffled this deck, right? Yeah, we have. Ooh, it's with intel. You reveal your hand, a royal flush. You laugh. That makes a complete run, doesn't it? I've won all your money. Dr. Vader sneers at you. You are obviously cheating. And he nods to his men. Leave the agent's head intact so I can use it as an ornament. Test persuasion +1 or deception +2, needing 2 successes. Pass with seduction or gambling. She's got electronics or weapon use. So neither one of those is going to help her. Persuasion +1. That is a 2 +1 would be 3. Yeah, that's her best bet. She can also use deception +2. Well, her deception is a 1 +2 is 3, but she needs 2 successes at that. So we're going to go with persuasion again. Persuasion is 2, +1 is 3. 3 dice from the bag of death. Are all the dice in here? There should be 5. There is. Okay. Want to make sure we didn't forget any of them. We get 3 dice. Come on, 3 dice. Give us something good. Okay. We always get our brown dice or black dice or gray dice, whatever color that is. Looking for 1 success, 1 little success. We got a success, but we also took an injury. So she has taken an injury. She's got 4 life, so she's okay for right now. But we do have to worry about that. But that is a success. It's on our grade dice, which only has 1 success on it. So we got very, very fortunate. All right, and our success results say you escape with your life, up any skill. So she's going to up her skill. She's going to take her hand-to-hand combat up to 1. Okay. Nicely done. Asian counters. We get this intel marker over there. And now we have the bad guy end of turn event. Sterilization drug found in China's water supply. Removed intel from Asia. Well, guess what? There is none. Add intel to Lagos. Lagos over there. Lagos. And airport closes in Mumbai. So airport is closing in Mumbai. Mumbai, right here. Okay. That one's actually got an airport. Okay. Again, because we were successful, otherwise we have to read this side of the card, which is bad. We don't want to do that. We want to read this side. All right, that was a pretty good turn again for Seena. She's a pretty good spy, I think. All right, we only have 1 intel. We do know that there's a henchman out here. We can go fight a henchman. So these UN transport tokens, which we start with 2 of them as a 2-player game, UN transport. I think you can take these and go from any location to any location. But they're super rare and hard to get, so if you waste them, you waste them. You don't want to waste them, I guess is what I'm saying. You don't want to waste them. Now, trying to find the... it's used to move to and from any city or ocean location on the board, regardless of airport status. You may not use them to move into external regions such as Japan or the Congo or island spaces, but they can be used to move out of these areas. They are in favor of the UN. A transport is dispatched to your location and you're picked up and transported. Yep, to or from any city or ocean location on the board. So I could go from Lima directly to Lagos and try to get some intel. This probably isn't going to go away, so we don't have to worry about him running away. And I think I am going to do that. I am going to use my UN transport token, rare, and he's going to fly directly to Lagos and go after the intel in Africa. This will be our first Africa encounter, so we'll make sure we shuffle the deck nice and well. With intel, here we go. You speak with the director. Dr. Xander was in prison until last week when he was released, much to our disapproval. He was imprisoned for diamond smuggling, helping Dr. Lobo build a space laser. Well, days ago, an inspector of a cargo ship using Dr. FX's interspectoscope revealed a large quantity of smuggled diamonds on board. Either Dr. Xander is behind this, or we have another villain moving in to IDB, illegal diamond buying. The ship will be allowed to make its voyage, and I'd like you to stow away on it. Move to island in Indian Ocean. Oh, he's way down here. Island down here. Okay, and we need to test spycraft -1, or we can pass with adventurer. Are you kidding me? Yes, we shuffled all these decks, but look at that. Amazing. Our main man is adventuring. Look at that. He's got the adventuring token too. He has been super lucky. We've been super lucky. Dr. Xander is indeed smuggling the diamonds. We get 1 intel and a UN transport. Whoa! So we get to get another intel for free. We get an intel and UN transports. Nice. All right, end of turn. Another success. On your turn event, Australia's declaration of war against Africa is still a mystery. Remove intel from Asia. There is none. Add intel to Rio de Janeiro and Panama City. Rio de Janeiro and Panama City. Airport closes in the current location. Well, there is no airport where he is. So again, we're going to assume that nothing happens. Well, we've been super lucky with these choices of things, haven't we? All right. Seena Mars. Like, she might have to use a UN transport just to get the frick all the way over here. I think she is going to, because otherwise it's going to take her... Actually, no, wait a minute. Hang on. It's actually... Let me move his character card. Yeah, that's just a line. It goes here. That's 1, 2. Yeah, she can actually move there. So no UN transport needed. South America again. Boy, South America has been the hotbed in this. And it's an intel. So with intel, move to island in Pacific Ocean. So that's this one. Move to island in the Pacific Ocean. After he was assassinated at the ARPA, you searched the body of a KGB agent before police arrive and found what at first appears to be a blank piece of paper. Upon closer inspection, you discover microdots with geomorphic coordinates that point to an island. You hire a plane and now you are on your way to that island. You stand by the exit with a parachute ready to jump when your hired pilot comes to check on you. Suddenly he pulls a gun. My vote is that all this meddling UN scum go down with the plane. He puts on your parachute and jumps. Don't I get a vote? You yell at him. He was sabotaged. He has sabotaged both the plane and the other parachutes. Test spycraft -1. Pass with piloting. She's not a pilot. She's got electronics and weapons use. And why did God damn it. These cubes are gonna drive me crazy. Spycraft -1. We have 2. -1 is only 1 dice. We're in a bit of trouble here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a resolve to get a second dice. So we're going to do... Are we going to do 1 resolve or 2 resolve? I think she's just going to do 1. We're going to hope for the best. We're going to get 2 dice out of the bag. Hopefully we get one with good results on it. At least one of these. Oh, we got the worst dice. This one is just like this. It's got 1 success on it. This like brown thing. Everything else is a fail. And then we're going to... The blue one has got 2 successes. So, jeez. We got 4 successes on 18 sides of the dice. 4 successes on 18 sides of the dice. Oh, wait a minute. Would this be considered gain +2 to tests made in regional locations. Locations connected by dotted lines such as the Alps, the Congo Basin, Patagonia, etc. I think this would be considered that kind of location. Even though our board doesn't have dotted lines... I think it's these special locations that go to your circle locations. Well, technically this does have a circle on it, though. Well, maybe we'll just take our chances and see what happens. Come on, guns. Come on. Got it. But she takes another injury. But that was huge. Huge, I tell you. Huge success. Whew. Using a bit of ingenuity, you keep the plane in the air long enough to reach the island and discover one of Dr. Lobo's science facilities. You gain an intel. Nice. And a UN transport. Wow, nice. I just said how rare those were, and we just got 2 of them, so that's pretty good. Wow, that was amazing. Kept the plane in the air long enough to reach the island and discovered one of Dr. Lobo's science facilities. 1 intel and the U.S. transports. Wow. Beautiful. South America has been the hotbed. South America has been the hotbed. End of turn. End of turn event. Senator balks at Haiti's declaration of war against Florida. Remove intel from North America. There is none. Add intel to North Atlantic and Paris. North Atlantic and Paris. And the airport is going to close in La Paz. La Paz. La Paz right there. So no airport from there. No La Paz. Well, we have not had a single failure yet. This is going too good. Something is going to be horribly wrong here. The live stream isn't going to record or something because Dr. Lobo is still at 0. Like, we got more UN transports than we started with, and we've used 2 of them. And I'm thinking about maybe just using another one and going after another location. I mean, do we want to go after more intel, or do we want to go after this dude and try to knock him out? I got 2 rank of 2 of everything except for persuasion and deception. Assuming my elbow hasn't screwed me by knocking him accidentally. We do have 4 resolve. Oh, and he needs to go to New York as well. He gets the V1 rocket. Let's see what this V1 rocket is, what it does. It's none of this card. Must be a skill then, I think. V1 reward. You know what? I am going to use a UN transport, and I'm going to go to New York. The reason I'm going to go to New York is because this card says on it, secret mission, Dr. Lobo is planning to assassinate the U.S. president. You must initiate an encounter in New York before the end of the game to foil his plans. If you do not, all players automatically lose the game. Sometimes being a hero is its own reward. So we got to go there to foil his plans. So North American encounters, which is our first time there. It's not going to get us any intel. It's not going to get us any... Oops. And I just knocked everything. All right, North America it is. There's no intel. Is there intel? No, there is no intel. On a forced... On a forced convalescence leave, you drive out to a cabin on a lake where you plan to spend the next few days fishing. The director insists that you take time off to allow some of the old wounds to heal. But there is no rest for a spy. 2 days on your vacation and you return to the cabin with a sense of someone is inside hiding. Test spycraft +2, or I can pass with stealth. Oh my God, he's got stealth right there. It's stealth. Are you kidding me? Holy cow. Stealth right there. He can pass with stealth. And I'm telling you, there is tons and tons of these. All right, there's lockpicking, disguise, electronics, speed, seduction, detection. So like lockpicking, weapons use, gambling. Like there's like 20 different skills. Like he's got 4 of them every single time he's had the right one. That has been super helpful. Because then you don't have to fail by drawing dice and rolling bad things. So once again, pass with stealth. Unbelievable. Pass. You pretend nothing is amiss and slip a small pistol into the fold of your hand from the dresser. When your intruder presents himself, you shoot her in the leg, then question her with information. 1 intel. We'll take that. Thank you very much. All right, there you go. End of the turn. End of turn. Smersh activates earthquake machine in Beijing, causing massive damage. Add intel to Regina. Add intel to Regina. Regina, wherever that is. Anyone know where Regina is? Regina. Regina's in Canada? Okay, sure. Airport closes Beijing. Okay, well, we know where Beijing is. And that's it. Another success by Vinny. Vinny's been clutch. Like, both of them has been awesome. Both of them have been awesome. All right, Seena. She's going to go 1, 2. No, wait. No, she's already got 2 wounds. She takes 2 more wounds, she could die. So I think she's going to rest. And when you rest, I believe... Oh, God. Rest. 2 injuries. Yeah, okay, so she can remove these 2 injuries. She's out on the island. Is that an ocean encounter, though? On the island? Or is it just those spaces that have ocean? I think it's got to be ocean because, like, that's not South America. Yeah, so it's got to be ocean encounter. Let's see what she's got out there. After finding Dr. Lobo's secret scientific lab. So there's 2 ways you can do it. You can draw these encounter cards, or if you want to use the book, and we're going to use the book because we haven't used the book much. We've not used our massive book of 1,600 encounters. So if you're going to be doing in an ocean, what you can do is... roll ocean encounters. Roll a d6. So we're going to roll a d6. Suspicious travelers, and our response group is C. So we look at C, which is going to be observe, quick action, test your limits with determination, get assistance, let's have some fun, or at all costs. So we can choose one of these. Get assistance. Let's have some fun. At all costs. With determination. Test your limits. Quick action or observe. Let's have some fun. Group C. We're going to go with 6. We're going to go with 6. 6. 6. I'll put that down so I know. And then our fate number is going to be, there's no intel. So with no intel, it's 3. So it's 1.6.3. 1.6.3. One dot 6.3. Here we go. 1.6.3. You believe you're being followed as you walk towards your hotel, but you can't be certain. Test deception. We can pass with detection. Do you have detection? No. Deception is 1. I'm going to spend another one. So we're going to use 2 dice on this. 2 dice. Two dice. Again, all 5 of these are in here, as you can see. So it's not like I'm cheating and just putting out the really good dice. 2 dice. Oh, I got that crappy brown one again. That's terrible. And the blue. So these are the worst 2, are the brown and the blue. And we got them again. We're going to need success here. Come on, give us something good. Nope, we take an injury. And we failed the test. This is where things start going downhill. This is where they start going downhill. Okay. Fail. You overlook the man sitting in the tinted window of a car parked far away from the entrance of your hotel. He observes you overnight and listens in on your phone conversation using a bug. Dishonored agent. What? Dishonored agent. What? Oh boy, here we go. Although we can't prove anything, your actions are suspicious to us. When another player is either in your city or adjacent to you by 2 connections, they receive a -1 to their encounter test. If playing solo, take 2 injuries and discard. You may discard as your reward for completing a secret mission. So, everyone is not happy with Seena now. Ooh, Seena, what happened, Seena? What happened? Not a good result at all. And she took an injury as well. This has been bad. And now we got to read the bad side of the card. So Dr. Lobo is going to move up 1 spot. Villain advancement. Wanting to increase size of army and short on cash, Egyptian sells the Pyramid of Gaza to Dr. Lebo. No, Dr. Lebo now owns the Pyramid of Giza. And he goes up 1 on his track. All right, Will. Not a great turn. Not a great turn. We're going to have him go after that intel. He's going to go 1, 2. He's going up to Regina. That is North America. Yep, North America. Okay. We have 29. And Group G. G is taunt, overreact, stay calm, cry, blend in, stand out, or laugh at. Let's go with taunt, overreact, stay calm. Athletics, hand-to-hand, or spycraft are his best things. So let's intimidation is the name of the mission. Intimidate and let's go with standout. Option 6. Let's go with option 6. So we're looking at 29, 6. And then there is intel there, so 3. So it's going to be 29, 6.3. Oh, I just saw it. 29.6.3. Move to the Caribbean. Put him right there in the Caribbean. You have taken the place of an American entrepreneur who is working with the UN in return for protection. Smersh has threatened to bankrupt his business if he does not cut ties with the UN. In bright clothes and a succession of silly hats, you have led Smersh on a wild goose chase. Finally, one of your Smersh agents gets close to you, and you make eye contact. You instantly realize that he knows you are not whom you claim to be. When he turns to walk away, you go after him before he can alert anyone. Test athletics. Pass with adventurer or speed. I have adventuring. This says pass with adventurer. Is there a difference? Or do you think they mistyped that? Adventuring. I bet you it should be adventuring. Adventurer. There is no adventurer. Unless maybe there is an adventurer here. Let's see. No, there is no adventurer. It's got to be adventuring. So I'm going to assume that we were going to pass with adventuring, not the adventurer. Pass. Again, Mr. Vinny Carter with his 4 skills is huge to win this game. Pass. You catch up to him and clock him over the head. You keep him tied up in your closet for the remainder of the trip. Advanced skill. Advanced skill. Is that a advanced skill or is that to advance a skill? Yeah, I don't see anything there, so I'm assuming we get to advance the skill. Let's take deception. Yeah, we'll take deception up. So he's got 2 on everything except for persuasion. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, I would think. Oops. Goes there. North America. So you can see how, like, is obviously random encounters. Like, you're doing things, but you don't have much of a say of what's going to happen. You just have to go along with the story. If that bothers you, then you're going to be running into problems. End of turn. He was successful. End of turn event. Airport security at all times high. Remove intel from North America. Nothing in North America. I don't think the Atlantic Ocean counts as North America. Nope. Add intel to Mumbai. Mumbai is... Where's Mumbai? Right here. Oh, it's got a plane. You can get there. And airport closest in Lagos. Lagos here. Okay. All right. Another great turn for Vinny. Woof. Vinny. All right, she had healed a little bit better, so... does she want to just take a UN transport to Paris, maybe? She's got 3 of them. Oh, damn it. Oh, and when you rest, I think you recover 2... hang on. Okay. So when you rest, you actually don't have an encounter. So she shouldn't have lost that health and had that bad outcome. She shouldn't actually have done that. So I'm going to undo that. So she wouldn't have gotten the injury and she wouldn't have got this. Because she failed that mission when she shouldn't have been. So when you rest, you do not move your player token, nor do you have an encounter. You may only heal 2 injuries. Then you skip to the villain phase, drawing 2 cards, resolving each end of turn. So we would get another one end of turn. KGB sends unprotection. Seeks UN protection. KGB seeks UN protection. Remove intel from Asia. That's this. Okay. Add intel to Paris. And there's actually another one in Paris. And USSR. Ulin Und in USSR. You right there. And the airport closes in Orsono. So this would have happened. There's not that many spaces. How come I can't find it? Or so no. Yeah, it's or so no. Wow. Oh, way down here. Way down there. How many people knew it was down there? I didn't know it was down there. All right, that was all right. So that was when she had failed. Or when she rested, she shouldn't have had the encounter. She should have drawn 2 things. So I gave her back this. I removed that. And so it's her turn. And I think she goes to Paris because there's 2 intel in Paris. And she's just going to use a UN transport to get there. Bling. We have a lot of intel. Like, I think even if he got to like 6 or 7, we would be pretty good. And right now he's at 1. So we have to start just killing his henchmen. We just have to go hammer his henchmen. Because we have to get 4. We have to defeat him 4 times. So we've only defeated 1. So we have 3 more to defeat. All right. So intel in Paris. That is Europe. That's our first time in Europe. Yes, it is. And she needs to go to Berlin to complete her secret mission as well. So she can do that next turn. All right, let's see what we got here. There's intel in this location, yes. You board a small twin-engine plane that you believe is en route to one of Dr. Lobo's hideouts. When you don't actually board, you climb on top of the plane and latch yourself down. Test athletics -1. Pass with adventurer. She does not have adventurer. Athletics. She's got 3 in athletics though, but it's -1, so it's 2. 2. Yeah, we're going to spend resolve, make it 3. We're going to roll 3 dice. I don't want to fail. I don't like failing. Come on. 3 dice. 3 better dice, I think. Let's see. The black dice has got 1, 2, 3, 4 successes, a fail, and an injury. And the green dice has got 3 successes, an injury, 2 injuries, and a fail. So she could take a couple injuries here, which could be bad. We need a success. We got 2 successes and an injury. This is for her, yes. All right, but we do pass, no problem. Pass. The pilot doesn't notice you despite your latch detaching. You slide and almost fall off the wing. Add a location token to the board. Okay, so we're going to take one of these guys, add them to the board. And the location is Lagos. Oh, and the airports. Oh, look at this. They're back to back. That's crazy. All right, that was pretty successful. Europe. Okay. And end of turn. End of turn events. China arrests thousands of citizens accusing of involvement in acts of terrorism. Remove intel to Asia, so that goes away. Add intel to Dakar. Dakar, right there. Wow, that is really good. And close this airport in Los Angeles. And that's another success. Another success. We've been doing nothing but successes, except for one time. We had one fail. So now it's just a matter of just going after these guys and knocking them out and hoping that so we're gonna have him He's in the Caribbean, so it would take him forever to... Oh, actually, he'd go after that intel, but I think we got plenty of intel. We got 9 intel. So we're going to just take a plane. We're going to go after this one right here. So it's going to cost us UN transport. And let's find out who it is. It is Mr. Big again. Oh boy. We already fought him once. Remember our very first encounter, if you're just joining us, our very first encounter was here in Montevideo. And we woke up in the middle of the jungle and Dr. Big was there. And we had a fight with him and we beat him up. All right. So we're going after him again. Test athletics -1. I have 2. -1 is 1. I'm going to spend 2 resolve to make it a 3. We need 1 success. We're dodging Mr. Big's baseball bat. Got it. Woo! Got it. Just barely. 3 fails and 1 good. So, test athletics -1 to jump aside of Mr. Big's baseball bat. We pass. We get an intel. We move this up. This moves up. This goes back away. And we get an intel as a reward. Another intel. We are just killing it on the intel. All right. End of turn. Children of Cape Town brainwashed into joining end-time cults. Remove intel from North America. There is none. Add intel to Salvador and Cape Town. And Salvador. So we have 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Oh, we have 6 intel on the board. Uh-oh. Hang on. Hang on. We might have an overrun here. Hang on a second. I don't know when that happens. If it happens at the end of the turn, the beginning of the turn. Okay, hang on a second. It's going to take us a while to find it. Just be patient. There is a limit to how many intel tokens can be present on the board. In a 4-player game, there can if the villain end of turn event brings out yellow intel that go over the limit, players must remove all intel markers from the board. Okay, so because his end of round event caused this to happen, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. All the intel goes away, which, yeah, who cares at this point? All right. We got as much intel as there is over here. And now she's going to spend a UN token. And she's going to go here. And it's going to be Pierre. We have not looked at Pierre yet, so let's look at Pierre. Pierre was a self-made billionaire who owns a multinational empire, and he is known throughout the world as the man of many of his payroll. Pierre is a man of extreme extravagance and harsh temper, living in palaces all over the world. He goes above and beyond, devising extraordinary methods to make his own enemies suffer. Smersh does not care for his extravagance and ego, but they put up with it since his pockets are very deep. Test spycraft to avoid Pierre's trap. All right, spycraft is 2. 2. Oh, we've got 2. Yeah, this will take us to 3, won't it? So I'm going to spend my last resolve and take that to 3 Spycraft. 3 Spycraft. We only need 1 success. We got 2 successes, and we heal. We heal 1. Look at that. Beautiful roll. Beautiful roll. Heal 1, and we had 2 successes. Lovely stuff. All right. We get an intel. And his increases up. Now it's test persuasion -1. Then he goes back into the pile over here. Don't know where everyone is, who everyone is, where they're at. And I should mind you that these little tokens don't come in containers. That was added by me. Or I might have bought it that way, I'm not sure. Okay, so we need to get another henchman on the board. Oh, that increases that. So one more time, we beat him up, and then we can go after Dr. Lobo. So we haven't seen Darling yet, and we haven't seen Fedor Maximov yet. We fought Mr. Big twice and Pierre once. That was a good round. End of round. Japan begins processing of rebuilding military despite U.S. objection. Remove intel from Europe. There is none. Add intel to the USSR, and it's some weird name. That's this one right there. Yetis Karabag. And close current city. That is her, and it's already closed, so joke's on you. Haha. Okay, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We've had 15 turns. So it's not a super long game. I'm just going really slow and enjoying it. So we've been going for almost 2 hours. I don't care. It's a really good game. I'm having a great time. Hopefully you guys are having a great time watching this and enjoying it. Are you enjoying it? I hope you're enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time. Obviously, if you're failing all the time and, not getting anywhere, you're probably not going to enjoy it as much as I'm enjoying it. All right, so over to Vinny. Vinny's been... he's only had to roll once this whole time. He's had like 8 missions every time. Stealth, piloting, adventuring. He's just been so good. Where does he want to go? What is he? He does not own a UN token, so he's not in an airport city. So I think he's going to go to an airport city because you can go from airport to airport as long as they're not closed. It costs you an action. So for his turn, he's just going to go to Nairobi here. He's going to end his turn in Nairobi. That's Africa for you. There's no intel there, so you are investigating rumors of Smersh construction site in the jungle and hire a villager to navigate you downriver. Mid-voyage, he stops the boat and turns to you. Crocs are hungry. Time for you to feed them. He points the gun at you, indicating that you should jump into the water. Test hand-to-hand +2. Pass with weapon use or speed. No. But we do get +2 to our hand-to-hand, which is 2. +2 is 4 dice. 4 dice. We only need 1 success. I'd rather not go swim with the crocodile. 2 successes, 3 misses, but 2 successes is plenty. Pass. You act as as if you're about to jump out when you grab an oar and put a dent in his head. Up, your hand to hand. So, our hand to hand has gone to 3 now. And that'll be actually good if we have to fight Mr. Big. Again. So, there you go. Nice job. Another victory. Africa. All right. End of round. End of turn event. Princess Anne to marry Dr. Lobo. Remove entail from Africa. There is none. And add entail to Abashay. Abashay. Never heard. Oops. Didn't mean to drop that on the ground and see what it was. Abashay. Somebody help me. Where is Abashay? Like, seriously, where is Abashay? I'm not sure. Where is it? Add entail to A-B-E-C-H-E. Whatever. I call it Abashay, but maybe that's not how you pronounce it. But still. Where are you? Oh, right there. I see you. Right there. Enclosed airport in Ceylon. Ceylon. Right there. Okay. Alright. Well, I mean, she can go after that intel, so I mean, it makes sense to do it. We're still waiting on another guy to show up. We got 3 of 4. Yeah, I was just trying to see if there was a way to, like, call the henchman out, but I don't think there is. I think you have to just wait. So she's going to go 1, 2, go after this intel. We got a boatload of intel, like Africa encounter. Okay, so we're going to do the risky dead drop, mission 32. We're looking at E. E. Take charge. I'd rather be lucky. What's her luck? Unorthodox. Frightened. Joke. Trust no one. Frightened. Joke. Unorthodox. I'd rather be lucky. Let's go. I'd rather be lucky. Let's go. I'd rather be lucky. 2. So I'm going to put this as a 2 so it reminds me it's a 2. So 32.2. There was a Jill there. Yes, so .1. So we're going to 32.2.1. 32.2.1. All right. 32. 32. .2. .1. 32.2.1. You are passing intelligence to a South African Secret Service agent who is holding a UN colleague hostage. As you approach the site, a boy on a bike comes at you at high speed and knocks you over. Second later, the trash can where you had been to place the package explodes. You've been set up. You have just missed having your head blown off. 3 men come out of nowhere and start shooting. Test hand-to-hand +2 or pass with weapon use. She's got weapon use right there. Right there it is. She only got 2 skills. Might as well make it weapon use. Ha ha ha. You run straight at one of the men, shooting him in the stomach. Somersaulting over the second man, you knife hand the third across the temple and take off running. Up your athletics. Oh, our athletics is at max. Damn. Damn. Damn, damn. All right. I was hoping to get a dude showing up here sometime. All right, end of turn. End of turn event. Crowd jewels have been stolen. Violence erupts in Trafalgar Square. Add intel to Stockholm. And airport closes in Reykjavik. Okay. All right, so he can take a thing. He can take an airport, go from Nairobi to London, and then he can spend a resolve to move 1 extra space and go up after that intel in Stockholm. Is there a way to get some resolve back? Yeah. There's no information whatsoever on whether or not you can do that. All right, so you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm just going to call this at this point here. We're just kind of biding time until we can fight another guy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab one of these guys and we're going to fight him. And then we'll have the final encounter. And I'll just say it's this one here. We'll say he showed up. Oh, it's Mr. Big again. Well, that makes sense because he's the level 3 guy. He's hand-to-hand, but our hand-to-hand is 3, which is good. But it's hand-to-hand -2 is 3 minus 2 is 1. I'm going to add 1 resolve to make it 2 dice. Two dice. Come on, give us something good. Blue and the brown are the worst too. Come on. Come on, one success, one success. Nope, no successes. Well, hang on. Discard to re-roll all your dice that failed the dice roll because I'm putting on a little diversion. We're going to try that again. Let's try again. Got a success. There we go. So we knocked Mr. Big out. When we knock Mr. Big out, that is our fourth, and we're playing with 2 players, so that is the fourth. He would actually go away. He's done. And Dr. Labos, then, we would know where his location is. And we would have a fight with him immediately at this point, I think. So you would check to see where he's at. And you know, let's say you got up to number 6. You would need to have 2 blue, 2 yellow, and a red to be successful. For us, he only made it to rank 1 because we were pretty successful in everything we did. But let's just say for prosperity's sake that he got to number 6. So let's see if we would complete number 6. So we end up getting, we look at our intel. We got a this and this. We got those 2. We got those 2. A blue. Oh. We got 2 blue, 2 green, and we got a double agent, which I think is the wrong color. They have them as red, but they're supposed to be brown. So we would have been successful all the way up to level 8. So we would have beat them anyways, because we had enough. We had 2 blue, we had enough greens, we had enough double agents, and we actually had some of the rare nuclear, whatever it's called. So we had enough to beat him no matter what level he was at. So that's why intel is important. So the intel we didn't get was a lot of blues. Holy crap, a lot of blues. That was it. We missed in a lot of blues and 1 green. So you can see there's only 3 of these in the whole thing. There's only 3 of these in the whole thing. There are 4 of these tokens. And then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those tokens. So a bunch of blues. 4 of the walkie-talkies, which are our next. Then 3 of these and 3 of these. And depending on what level he gets to, you would have to do that. So, awesome sauce. Had a great time playing. The mission was awesome. It was very interesting. And this is a really good game. I like this a lot. And, yeah, obviously, I might have to look into the 2nd edition just to see if I know they changed a bunch of stuff and changed it from more of an adventure game into more of a tactical game, but yeah, it might be worth checking that out. And also getting the end of event book, where there's again a special book that you can buy that lets Dr. Lavos attack you, and you know you use the different things you have to counterattack him, and so it's more of a battle adventure book than it is just, you know, hey, do you have these, you win. If you don't have these, you lose. There's no fighting, there's no dice rolling. It's either win or lose. And so it turns it into more of you know, what you're doing in the whole game, which makes it really cool. Oh, and there's actually some more intel out here we didn't do, which are another one of those and another one of those. So there's 5 of these, 4 of these, and 3 of these, and 8 of these. So blue, then green, then yellow, then red. All right, great little game, super good. If I had more space, I get the expansion out, which adds a new territory down here, and so, but I don't have the space, so I don't. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.